Hello and welcome to Not Every Single. I'm Joe.
And I'm Stephanie.
I want to talk about the most underrated song on the Barbie album. Now, Barbie is out. We've seen it. The movie's amazing. The soundtrack's really fun, really eclectic. I think this HAIM song, Home, is one of the coolest songs on there, and it's something no one's really talking about.
Yeah, we're always looking out for HAIM because we loved Women in Music Part 3 a couple years ago.
That was probably one of my top records of 2020.
Yeah. And so this song comes out, and it's actually really reminiscent of that album, I think.
Yeah, especially melody-wise, and that thing they've had going since their debut, which is this like quick delivery that's very reminiscent of like artists from like the 70s and 80s that they're really influenced by. So It has that like signature sound.
Yeah, I felt a lot of correlation between some of the delivery on this and the song I'm In It off.
Definitely.
So, something about this song, I think, is that it really, like a lot of songs on this album, it doesn't really move forward or push any new ground for these artists. They're sort of like signature sounds of what the artists generally do. Billie Eilish, Dua Lipa, HAIM, any of the other songs you see on there. Lizzo's a bit of a different thing.
Little bit.
Because it's actually like narrating the movie, but it's still in her like really standard style.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we talked about that a little bit in our Billie Eilish video, which was like some people online saying, oh, I wanted to hear something a little different from Billie. And we were saying, now's not really the time to like innovate as an artist. Like, you're bringing your thing to the soundtrack. So just bring your thing. And HAIM's definitely done that.
Yeah. So before we get totally to the song, I do want to say that it's actually, the more I thought about it, really smart, because so many movies these days sort of like depend on the needle drop of like the song, where you go like, oh, that song. And I've seen a lot of threads like, what songs would you want to have seen in the Barbie movie? And it's a lot of like Taylor Swift, of course, but like just a lot of pop songs and things from the past 20 years, a lot of dance songs or things with the word Barbie in the title.
Oh, sure.
Which is like not Greta Gerwig's thing. She's never going to go for like the easy thing where you get that bump of sort of like happiness because of the song. It's like, no, that's the movie that we're concentrating on, and the music kind of comes in and uplifts and serves the movie instead of being like, the only really thing people remember about it.
Yeah, it's not a Guardians of the Galaxy situation.
Mm-hmm.
That's
the one I thought of too. Yeah.
This is new material to elevate the movie. Mm-hmm. And it's been so cool to hear so many different artists come out with new songs. And this HAIM one, I almost wasn't into until like the end of the first chorus. Mm-hmm. And then I really understood what the song was. Okay. It was like, until then I was like, oh yeah, just sounds like HAIM, but like a little subdued. And then when this like really, really cool arpeggio synth comes in after the first chorus, then I like got it. It was like, oh, this is just this like slow building thing.
Yeah. Yeah, that was my favorite part too. I mean, overall, I feel like, again, it's not really pushing a lot as far as HAIM's music, but just the fact that they can do something so just that fits in so well with what they do, and also throw in this little thing, be like, also, but we really know what we're doing also.
Yeah, I mean, there's some electronic stuff on Women in Music Part 3. My favorite song on there is I Know Alone, which is mostly an electronic song, but they use like mostly vintage synthesizers and stuff. To hear them back on the vintage synths, working the arpeggio knobs and all this stuff was really cool and got me excited for the next release. And I think Barbie the album has really achieved that for a lot of different artists. It's like, oh man, yeah, I am excited for the next Billie album. I am excited for the next Dua album. Oh yeah, HAIM, like I want to see what they're going to do next.
Right, yeah.
So it's like built up a lot of excitement. I'm hoping that HAIM kind of continues this trend into the electronic more.
For sure, yeah. More electronic, and I think bringing something like the delivery of the vocals, I think maybe going a little different as well. That was the thing that was most derivative to me, and I kind of wished it. Again, I kind of wished they had done it different, but again, it's like that's not really what this isn't the time for that.
Yeah, you're here to be the artist that everyone knows, you know.
Yeah.
You're here to be HAIM. You're here to be Billie Eilish. Your sound is needed for this part of the movie.
Right.
I actually don't remember when this song was in the movie. Was this song in the movie? Is every song on the soundtrack in the movie? I don't remember. I only saw it once, unlike a lot of people. And we didn't see Oppenheimer. Looks boring.
I don't know. I've heard it's good, but Barbie was more important.
A lot of good movies are boring.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean they're not boring. They can be good and boring.
Barbie's not boring.
But it's good.
HAIM's not boring.
It's Barbie's good and not boring.
And not boring.
Yeah.
And the soundtrack is good and not boring.
Okay. What do you think is the most underrated song on the soundtrack? Do you agree with us? Is it this HAIM song? Is the electronic sound what you'd like to hear from them? We got a lot of like analog, warm rock tones on Women in Music Part 3. I'm ready for them to like maybe crisp it up a bit, maybe modernize a little bit. They're so known for the 70s, 80s influence. What does it sound like if HAIM really starts to modernize their sound? Those are the things I'm interested in. Let us know if you agree with that, and we'll see you soon. This is Not Every Single. I'm Joe.
And I'm Stephanie.
Bye.